All right, so I would like to call to order the May 19th meeting of the Batavia Park District. Please stand. Oh, I'm sorry, call the roll.
Riley?
Here.
Boyles?
Here.
Tillman?
Here.
Gray? Here.
Here, please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any items to be added, removed, or changed in the agenda?
Yes, I would like to remove executive session leasing property from the agenda.
All right. Anything else? Excellent. So, I would entertain a motion to establish the consent agenda as follows. Approval of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting of April 21st, 2015. Approval of the minutes of the executive session of April 21st, 2015. Approval of the paid expenditures, unpaid expenditures, treasurer's report, purchases. Ordinance number 237, an ordinance authorizing the dedication of land in the city of Batavia for Houston Street improvements, and then approval of the location change for special use permit for Windmill City Fest.
So moved, but it's ordinance number 347.
Oh, 347, I'm sorry. Thanks for the correction. So a motion by Tillman,
Second.
second by Gray. Any further discussion? Shall I just call the roll?
Tillman?
Aye.
Gray? Aye. Riley?
Aye.
Boyles?
Aye. Aye, motion carries. So I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as established.
So moved.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is item number 6, guest matters from the public. Anybody wishing to address the board tonight? Please approach the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
Yes, I am Lee Tracy at 1356 Claiborne Street in Batavia, and I'm here representing the Batavia Arts Council. Just wanted to update the park board in terms of the activities that we are doing, some of which involve, your programs and facilities. Let me just briefly speak about the Batavia Arts Council, established in 2010. The major purpose of the Arts Council has developed over the last 3 years to the point at which we're really primarily focused on funding of grants and scholarships to Batavia artists and arts organizations. And we have doubled that amount each year for the last 3 years. So in 2013, we granted $500 to the Batavia High School and Middle School art program. In 2014, $750 to Water Street Studios for their Art Flow project in elementary schools, and $250 to the Fox Valley Orchestra for the Messiah concert at the Batavia Fine Arts Center. And next month we will be awarding grants in the amount of $2,500 to Batavia artists and arts organizations. Briefly, this year fundraising events began in June the 14th with a West Side Cemetery Walk. I'll return to that. On June 28th, a Grease sing-along and car show with activities at the Batavia Fine Arts Center. I think it's the 3rd annual or 4th annual polo tournament at Blackberry Polo Field at the Alexander Farm on Bliss Road. And our 3rd annual September-October annual Halloween Hooligans Contest. So you never know, you might find yourself dressed up in a costume. And then in November, we are going to do our 2nd annual holiday online gift auction. And in December, an original play by Batavia playwright Donna Lathan. We did one of her plays last year. This play, A Midnight Clear, which is concerning the Christmas truce of 1914, which is interesting historically. But that's going to be performed in Shannon Hall on December 18th, 19th, and 20th. So what I'd like to do tonight is to ask for your support, along with the city of Batavia, for our June 14 cemetery walk. So in the afternoon of June 14th, which also happens to be Flag Day, which is important in Batavia, we're going to be doing a cemetery walk at the West Side Cemetery, along with the Batavia Historic Society, and supported by the city of Batavia, and I'm going to say it's supported by the Batavia Park District. This is important because we, historically, you folks support the Depot Museum, your staff people support the Batavia Historic Society, and we're doing this as a fundraiser to benefit the Arts Council and the Batavia Historic Society. Also on that day, it's going to be part of a Batavia Flag Day ceremony. You may know that Dr. Bernard Segrand, who is a dentist in Batavia, is the originator of Flag Day. And this is now the 99th anniversary of Flag Day. The proclamation by Woodrow Wilson was done 99 years ago. Next year, we're going to do 100th anniversary of Flag Day. So thank you for your support, and I just wanted to make you all aware of what we're doing.
Thank you very much for coming out. Board, any comments, questions? Thank you very, very much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, and Lee, our staff is more than happy to follow up with you on what kind of support you may need for the cemetery walk.
I will let you know.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Okay, item number 7, matters from the commissioners. Any commissioners wishing to make any comments? You got nothing? Okay, very good. Next item on the agenda is correspondence. We have 2 pieces of correspondence. A letter from resident Matt Sawinski in support of creating a Parkour Park, I'm sorry. And then a letter of thanks to the IAPD, to Director Nemella for attending the 2015 legislative reception and conference, which I hope was fruitful.
Very. Yes.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is announcements. Carrie?
Thank you. Splash into summer at Hawkeye Beach. Be sure to take advantage of discounted rates before season pass prices increase this Saturday. Stop by the Civic Center or Eastside Community Center during regular business hours to purchase your passes. The quarry will be opening on Saturday, weather pending. Mark your calendars for the upcoming Super Savvy Senior Expo on Wednesday, June 3rd, from 9 a.m. to noon at the Eastside Community Center. This healthy living, active lifestyle event is geared toward educating and entertaining ages 50 and up. Check out the interactive exhibits in the areas of health, travel, entertainment, improving daily life, and much more. Refreshments will be provided and visitors will have the chance to win some fun prizes. For more details, including a list of exhibitors, please visit bataviaparks.org. Admission is free, and the first 100 visitors will receive a complimentary tote bag. The River Rhapsody Concert Series will kick off Wednesday, June 17th, so be sure to mark your calendar and bring the family down on select Wednesdays throughout the summer. The free concerts will be held from 7 to 8:30 p.m. in beautiful downtown Batavia. The series will kick off with Billy Croft and the Five Alarm, a red-hot country rock band. And one more note, Windmill City Festival has returned to the Riverwalk this summer. For a full schedule of events, please visit windmillcityfest.org. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is our affiliate reports, and we have with us this evening members from the Parks Foundation. Please come up.
Tonight we have Sharon Mitchell and Dave DeVerde. Welcome.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Just an update, last fall we completed our 2-year renovation of the boardwalk along with the Park District and many volunteers and volunteer groups. This year we're doing some planning. Along with the planning though, we do have a few things going on. One is we are developing a college scholarship program in a related field of study. We've just started to work on that. As a matter of fact, we're going to be discussing that at our meeting next week. We are going to continue our support of the CHIP program in an effort to help disadvantaged youth. We've provided financial support for the Dog Park Memorial, the Walk and Wag event, which is Saturday, May 30th, and there will be the dog statue will be unveiled at that time. We've added a 7th board member, Sarah Ryerson, which was a great volunteer on the 2-year project we had for the boardwalk, and now she has graciously agreed to be on our board. We still need 2 more board members, so if you know of any good candidates, please send me an email at smitchell82@comcast.net. We have a variety of other projects we're considering. Right now, we're looking at some bigger fundraisers so that we can add to our discretionary fund. Projects continue to be focused on value added for the Park District, and Allison and Carrie, of course, help us ensure that our goals align with the Park District, the mission of the Park District. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Well, that was quick. Thank you very much. We certainly do appreciate all the efforts of the foundation. We know that the community not only benefits from your time, energy, and effort, but we, the Park District, grow a little bit each time you do a little something more. So thank you very much for your ongoing support. Thank you.
And it's good to see you, Sharon. Haven't seen you in a long time. We go way back.
All right, next item on the agenda is staff reports. Any updates?
I will go first tonight.
Okay.
One update I wanted to give is the ADP training. At this point now, we have everyone, including the summer seasonal help on ADP. Jen, Amber, all of us here really have gone on through the training, and everyone's up and running with ADP, so we're excited to finally get everyone there, and now we can move ahead, and Tammy can do other things instead of working on importing the payroll, which everyone was looking for that great time entry process. So it's been working wonderfully. They all got trained, and we're ready to go for summer.
Super. Anyone else?
Yes. The grass is growing like crazy.
Tell me about it.
We're doing the best we can with everything right now. We have gotten everything mowed within the last 2 weeks of rotation. If everything goes according to plan, we will be able to reach that objective again this week, which is good going into a holiday weekend. The light at the end of the tunnel for us is that we're going to be getting our summer help. With graduation right around the corner for the high school, we already have a couple people that have walked in the door and some college students as well. So we should be in full staff by the end of the first week of June.
Great.
So then we can start cycling in some of our summer maintenance cycle rotations on mulching, edging, trimming bushes, and so forth. So. If there's a concern or something doesn't look pleasing to you, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. As Carrie said, you can contact any of us on our website, or you can call my direct number, which is 630-389-2030. Leave a kind message, and I will get back to you and as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, we had our touch. We had our touch truck event on Friday the 15th. I didn't want it to come through in stereo. And Carrie will touch upon the information you put in front of you, but we had approximately 400 people come through, 17 vehicles. It was a great event. It was somewhat sketchy weather, no rain, but very overcast. We still had a ton of people come out, so it was a great event.
Get a touch truck.
And you get the touch trucks. I mean, what more could you ask for? Plus, we had some quality concessions we sold, and we were back there grilling up some delicious hot dogs. So it was a good time had by all.
Excellent.
And I think someone mentioned there's something going on this weekend. Yes, the quarry. Just a reminder, the quarry is opening this weekend. It's going to be beautiful weather.
Eric's ordering the weather this time.
Because Eric is ordering the weather this time, so it's going to be beautiful weather. That's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, a couple things. Oh, sorry, I thought it was, sorry. As Dean said, we had around 400 people. This year, we did utilize the tablets to do some surveys. We are using a new survey feature, so staff has really enjoyed the results and the clarity, and the charts are super helpful, I think. So just wanted to kind of show you what it looked like when we do get the results back. So those results have been shared with rec staff. You know, we're going to start doing this more often and try to get out even more to reach more people at the events, so that we can really gauge people's reactions and get some good feedback from people at our events. So I think that overall the results were very positive. A couple comments about some horn honking and things like that, but otherwise I think that people really enjoy that event, and so overall I think that went really well.
Super.
One update for the Hall Quarry signage. When I originally did my report, I did say that we were going to try to split it up to save costs, but we were able to, in other areas, save costs. So we are going to go ahead and update all the quarry signage this year. So that way, you know, it'll have a fresh new look, and hopefully Mother Nature gives us a nice warm summer so we get a lot of people down there. So. And then I am super excited to introduce Marissa Pasillas. She is our summer marketing intern. So I'm going to let her just give you a little update on herself.
Hi everyone. Like she said, my name is Marissa Pasillas, and I'm a junior at the University of South Carolina starting this fall. And I'm a public relations major and a Spanish minor, so I'm the new marketing intern. And just to give you a little bit background information about myself, I used to work in retail, and so I know a lot about customer service and interpersonal skills. I'd say that those are two of my best qualities. And I'm also a member of Phi Mu fraternity at USC, and within that fraternity, I'm on the new member committee, and so that incorporates a lot of event planning, and I'm also the committee head for the Alumni Relations Committee, and that is also a lot of event planning, and then relaying information from the chapter to the alumni via social media, via newsletters, and email, and stuff like that. So that's kind of a basis of my life, I guess. So I'm really excited to be working with the Park District, and it's nice to meet you all.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Do you want to go up and shake their hands real quick?
The official induction
We don't
here.
bite.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Just go down the now it's all about pomp and circumstance now.
Get anybody.
Shake the cameraman.
It's like running for office.
Please feel welcome to stay.
It is not compulsory that you stay at this meeting.
She is going to hang out until 8 at least to check things out. and
No,
see
that's
how
fine.
things
I'm just want to let her know that it will not break our hearts if somebody gets up and leaves, except you guys got to stay.
I do want to put, because this is in front of me, and I looked at it,
Sure.
I really love the fact that the percentage for Facebook is higher than anything else. And if that trends that way, that should really tell us something about beefing up that social media presence.
As we have. We've
Yeah.
started kind of doing that and doing some boosted posts, and because with their...
Are we seeing other things come back trending like this, or?
Yes, and just in terms of like the, so Facebook continuously changes their algorithms. So we've started posting more often because only a small percentage of the people who like our page are actually seeing our posts. So by posting more often, we're kind of reaching out to more people. We've also started playing around with the times, and we've noticed that really early in the morning and really late at night posts, that's when posts are more likely to be seen. So we've kind of tried to play around with that. And then we've started boosting some posts, and that has really increased our likes and our correspondence with people.
Do you have to
So-
pay for those when you boost? or
Yes, but
sponsored?
it's very minimum.
minimal.
It's like pennies per like, so it's super affordable and well worth it, so. Yeah.
Great, yeah.
And then I do just want to note too that I was just making sure you were reading my board report, and that dates to remember down there is Wednesday, May 20th, not August 20th. In case you did not have a headshot taken tonight, she is going to be back at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, just in case.
I'm not gonna look any better.
Good.
Good night's sleep.
Do we tweet as well?
We do. So our Facebook page and our Twitter pages are linked. So anytime I post to Facebook, it also gets posted to Twitter. So we've actually grown our Twitter followers a really good deal.
Right.
So
Instagram?
we haven't started an Instagram yet. We have a Pinterest page up and running. That's one of the
LinkedIn.
things that Marissa may look at this summer, since she has some social media experience too, on top of what Katie and
Yeah, I
myself
think we really
have.
need to exploit all avenues we possibly can, because people, I know very few that are on one and not on the other.
Right.
You know, and if they're searching one, they may not go to the other for a while, but they can see it there. So, you know, hitting as many as we possibly can, you know, is.
And what's nice is on Twitter, we do have, most of the newspapers are following us.
Sure.
So anytime we post a bigger story, they retweet it through their personal pages and through the newspaper page.
Because it is interesting to me that the statistic for other, that's the part I think that would be interested to actually expose more
Yeah.
as far as questions asked, so that you can identify what the other is, because that rivals the Facebook number. So I'd be curious to find out what that is.
Yeah. We also have a LinkedIn page where not just human resources, but marketing have also posted stories and articles in that.
Great. Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda. Unless the board has any comments on staff reports, is Executive Director's report.
All right. I would like to publicly thank the City of Batavia for all of their efforts. When we were planning for the Windmill City Festival being at Engstrom Park, they gave us so much, not just moral support, but physical support, trying to relocate things such as electric, gas, you name it. So thank you to the City of Batavia, our great partner, and the Batavia Chamber of Commerce. They've been with us every step of the way, and they're more than supportive that we're bringing it back to the Riverwalk, since the Houston Streetscape project is being delayed now. So we've received a tremendous amount of community support with the location change. I'd also like to let the Park Board know that we have completed yet another year with the Employee Engagement Survey. So we had all full-time, according to the numbers, all full-time employees have completed the Employee Engagement Survey, as well as even more part-time than 2 years ago when we did it last. So at an upcoming board meeting, we will be doing a high-level, probably an executive session, a high-level recap of the Employee Engagement Survey. But I'm pleased to let you know that the morale is improving. It is higher up there, probably due a lot to the trainings, due to a lot more internal, external customer service moves. And I think also just keeping a good finger on the pulse of what's going on at the district at all levels.
Super. Good to hear. Next item on the agenda is, or what about dates to remember? Do you have any dates to remember?
The Walk and Wag event, Saturday, May 30th.
All right.
And then that way, you know, staff is going to be there. I would love to have some park board members there as well to support the Parks Foundation.
And your furry friends. Feel
And
free
the
to
furry
bring them
friends.
along.
Yes, your healthy furry friends. And we're going to be launching our pet memorial program that day.
Okay, great.
It's May 30th?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And of course, the visioning meeting that we have set up Saturday, June 13th.
Yes. Okay, next item on the agenda is presentations. Who wants to take this one? You want to take this one?
I'll start. Here tonight is Dan Berg and Tom Zwicky of Sikich LLP to discuss the audit for the 8-month year from May 1st until December 31st, 2014. And officially this year, we are on a calendar year. So next year, we'll see a 12-month year.
Promise?
I promise I'm not changing it again. I'm not going through that again. No.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Is that on the record?
Unless the Illinois, unless down south, hold on, wait, caveat, as long as
You're fine, you're
As long as someone down south doesn't change it, I will not change it. That could be the case at one point.
Okay.
I understand we have a few Blackhawks fans here, so I'll trash my presentation and just open it up to questions.
He was well prepped.
Or I could go through it if you'd like.
No, I think you should go through it.
Just a little? All right. I won't read it.
Thank you. But our friends at home would probably need to know a little explanation.
Absolutely. Just wanted to give you a few quick highlights and let you know how the audit in general went. Overall, excellent. We got terrific cooperation from the staff. We were in and out on time. It was a little weird on a few things in terms of trying to change a few things in the report and in our testing to accommodate the 8 months. Revenue comparisons, except for property taxes, didn't work. The things like the pool and things obviously did, but lots of other things didn't. And clearly, all of our salary testing had to be modified a little bit. Things of that nature. We've gone through this a few times. It seems to be pretty popular to be changing from a fiscal year end, April 30 especially, to a calendar year end. Many of our home rule municipalities are doing it. I don't know if you're aware, but the reason it was April 30 for most municipalities, park districts, and other institutions in Illinois, other than schools and libraries, was to accommodate the new boards that were taking office. And I know you're taking the oath again tonight. So the elections take place in April. The boards sit in May. So they take responsibility for the new budget year. That's why it's always been April 30. But with the property taxes being levied in December, a great many of our clients, well, great many, 7 of them last year, are flipping over to a calendar year end. You're the 7th. So with that said, we usually came out in the summer. Now we came out in the winter and early spring. We were here in mid-January for one day to kind of get a lay of the land, to interview staff, to gather documentation as far as insurance, personnel policies, anything that might change. And then we came back, that's called our preliminary field work, and that's where we asked everybody about their concerns or lack thereof, audit areas that any of you thought we should pay special attention to. Really didn't get too much in the way of concerns from staff or the board. So we pretty much did our standard audit and came out March 23rd. Spent the week here. Because of the good cooperation we got from staff and our preparations going into it, we were able to get the first draft out on April 12th. So that was turning it around within 2 weeks. We were very happy with that. Hope staff was as well. We got a final report out on May 12th. So we turned it around pretty quickly, and it's nice to be here in May as opposed to June, or in some cases even later. The best news I'm allowed to give you is this report has a clean opinion. It's the best opinion we're allowed to give. We used to call it an unqualified opinion. That changed 2 years ago. Now we refer to it as an unmodified opinion. It's the best opinion auditors are allowed to give. It simply states that the financial statements beneath the covers here present fairly in all material respects the statement of position and the results of operations for the year, or for the 8 months ended December 31st. It's also ready to be submitted to the government finance officers for their Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting program. You've received that award the past 4 years. We fully expect you'll receive it again. It's interesting because we had such a quick turnaround from the last fiscal year, we had to call them up and say, hey, we need the comments back immediately from last one. They usually take about 6 months, and if they had taken 6 months, we wouldn't have known what we were supposed to change in this report, which were pretty minimal. It was pretty handy. As I said, the comparison between last year, the last audit report and this audit report is a little bit skewed, mostly because of less salary expenses, but most of the other expenses really came fairly close to being in line with them, especially capital. The district spent down about $600,000 of its previous $1.2 million bond issue. So that kind of brought the capital numbers up. And the cash numbers are a little higher than you're used to seeing as well. That is seen as an increase of about $2.8 million in your net position for year end. So you really did add some money to the bottom line. I think that you'll see that kind of bleed off with as you do an entire fiscal year, spend an entire year's worth of property taxes as opposed to just 8 months worth of property taxes. So I think that's a little bit of a spike, and we'll get back down to the mean by this time next year. The general fund especially enjoyed a good year and had a positive increase in its fund balance, and I think that's the main place you're going to see it bleed down. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about specifics with the audit process, the product you have before you, the CAFR, or our board communication that we also submitted to the board.
So I guess, so in light of now a transition from an 8-month to a 12-month, we're now into our full fiscal year, right? January to December. When does, so the next audit then will be a year from now?
Mm-hmm.
That basic, so timing of the audit is roughly the same?
Yes,
Still be in May-ish?
May.
Okay.
Right. I forgot to mention that we brought Tom Sawicki, our supervisor in charge of the audit. He's the guy that actually did all the work. I just
You just come up here and take all the accolades?
yeah,
Like
I'm just
steal
here
the
for
thunder?
eye candy.
I know how that goes. I know how that goes. Board, any comments, questions on the audit? Rita, any supplemental commentary you'd like to provide?
Nope. We won't talk about this for another year, just for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But you have a big smile on your face that it's over.
We've learned so
It
much,
is
though.
over.
Come on.
Did you want me to mention IMRF at all?
It's up, yeah, if you would like to.
Okay, just real quick, on page 34 of the CAFR, there's a 6-year trend page in the required supplementary section. And what that shows is that under the old GASB rules, the IMRF was 75% funded, and the difference between your actuarial value of assets on a smooth basis, IMRF uses a 5-year smoothing to try to erase the effects of the Great Recession that we just had. You had about a $1.3 million liability. Okay, if you took that at market value and not a 5-year smoothing, you would have had 87.45% funding with $4.5 million in assets, leaving you with about $600,000 of liability. Under the new rules that will take effect, Government Accounting Standards Board Statement Number 68 will take effect for your next fiscal year, 12/31/15. That'll be slightly different. We got a preliminary GASB 68 statement from IMRF this week or last week, I believe they posted it. And when Rita showed it to us via email earlier, it showed about $1 million liability. This liability that's in the CAFR is not shown anywhere else in the report. It didn't make it to the front of the report. Next year, under the new rules of GASB 68, that $1 million liability, I don't expect it to fluctuate greatly, so we'll just say it's going to be close to $1 million next year unless we have a wonderful market during 2015, and especially at the balance sheet date of 12/31. We'll have to put that $1 million liability on the books, not of the general fund, not of the rec fund, but the very front, top of the pyramid, so to speak, of the statement of net position.
So, since this was an 8-month fiscal year, does that affect these numbers at all?
No.
So this wasn't normalized for the...
IMRF is on a calendar year, and
So
they just give
regardless.
us numbers once
Got
a
it.
year.
Okay.
That was also part of the reason of going to a calendar year is because of GASB 68 changes, knowing that IMRF is on a calendar year.
Sure.
It now makes it, they're compared apples to apples.
Okay.
And we'll have to wait for them to give us this report that they just did last week in order to finalize the report next year. So hopefully they get it a little quicker. We're used to seeing it by April 15th and sometimes as early as April 1st. So we'll simply have to wait for that in order to put the contents of it into this report.
Okay.
And IMRF's intentions are to try to get it, as they get better at doing this, to move that date up. So maybe next year we'll be at the board in June. Maybe the year after that it'll be May. So they are going to try to get this quicker, because if you imagine they have to make this report for like almost 4,000 employers. So this is a long process.
Okay. Great. No questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, and as always, if you have questions down the line or after taking a harder look at this, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Be happy to take your questions.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you,
Thank
Dan.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Enjoy the Hawks game.
At some point. All right, next item on the agenda is policy discussion. And this is our second reading of the petty cash policy. So unless the board has any additional commentary, I would entertain a motion to approve the policy as presented.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Tillman, second by Foils. Any further discussion?
I agree, and the only question, and this is with any petty cash, with so many hands in and out, touching money and shifts and all that kind of stuff, do we have a pretty good system in place for accounting for money that a lot of people are, like maybe at the quarry or over at the East Side Center, said they're supposed to close out at the end of the day? We have checks and balances that are fairly periodic, so that if there's something happening, that we can identify it quickly instead of later?
Yes, at the end of every day, all different departments, quarry, paddle boats, the Civic Center, and the East Side, they all cash out. They have to balance to their report that has come out of Rec Track. And then the customer service manager, customer advisor manager, I forgot her title, she's the one that puts all that information together and the money together and then makes that deposit. I do randomly go to different locations and double check their banks to make sure that they are not, that they are in sync, that they are whatever, $50, $100, whatever their bank is, to make sure that they are balanced and there's nothing that is off.
Good? Any further discussion? Shelley, please call the roll.
Tillman,
Aye.
Foils,
Aye.
Riley,
Aye.
Gray,
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. Before we move on to the next agenda item, which is new business, I just want to acknowledge, for everyone's benefit, Chris Lowe just walked in. Chris is one of our newest school board members who is appointed the liaison between the Park District and the school district. Is that what you're? That's true. All right. So, welcome to our meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. So, thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Welcome.
He wants to meet you guys after the meeting.
Well, he's welcome to do so, but
Cool.
that's the benefit of having the chair.
Yeah. You do it well.
Thank you. All right, so next item on the agenda is 15A, oath of office for our newly re-elected.
That's right.
Says selected.
I know what it says.
Is this your second term?
This is my second and some term. There was a
Because you were-
little, there was a stub term before my full term. I'm looking in your general direction.
Right context.
So with that, I believe our executive director is going to administer the oath of office.
The executive director would love to, but the
Treasurer.
board secretary actually has the official authority. So
This should be good.
Going down there.
I mean, you'd rather have the executive.
I mean, if the park board so chooses later on to nominate the executive director as the board secretary, then yeah, that's different. But right now, Commissioner Riley, in all due respects, is the officer.
We're going here?
The podium.
Okay.
You have to pretend there's a Bible there.
There's one right here.
There's one right there. I got my hand. You raise his hand.
Oh, yeah, he's got to raise his hand. It's an oath.
Maybe we should turn this into a thing.
Can we get an iPad?
What just happened?
I, John Tillman,
I, John Tillman,
having been appointed to the office of Park Board Commissioner
having been appointed to the office of Park Board Commissioner
of the Batavia Park District
of the Batavia Park District
and Illinois Municipal Corporation,
and Illinois Municipal Corporation,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Park Board Commissioner
of Park Board Commissioner
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Welcome back, John.
Well done.
Thanks. I forgot to say the commissioner.
Commissioner.
Now begins his 6-year sentence.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, John.
Thank you.
How many votes did you get?
All of them.
Yeah. 2,000 and something.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. It took a long time for me to do that.
So, our favorite time of the year, nominations and elections for board officers and appointments.
Yes, I did have a list of the current officers at your place setting, just in case you needed a refresher or a reference sheet. It doesn't, I mean, we actually start off with a clean slate, but if you were interested to see who was elected last time, it's in front of you.
So, I will open up the floor for board officers, so I will start with nominations for president.
I nominate Pat Callahan as president.
Do we have to do it that way, or can we just say, does anybody object to any changes of
We
this?
have to let everybody know.
I mean, do we have to go through each one, or
If
can?
there's a slate written there, you can nominate the slate
I would like to nominate this slate as presented.
in lieu of the prior Mr. President.
In lieu of the primary.
In lieu of the prior nomination from Commissioner Riley.
The slate is, for those at home, President Callahan,
Vice President John Tillman, Treasurer Gary Foyle, Secretary Kevin Riley, Batavia Parks Foundation Liaison Tara Gray, Executive Director, I got assigned to do this. Executive Director.
You started talking.
I was going to do it, but you started talking, so you're in deep now.
I was myself. I know. Executive Director Allison Niamela, Attorney Ansel Glink, and then
Fox Valley.
Special Rec. Directors nominate one. So Allison, Amber Smith, and Jennifer.
We really just need one sub,
So we have to vote for that one.
one rep and one sub.
Any volunteers?
For a sub?
Usually any meeting that I'm in, they're in with me, so.
You wrote the slate.
Jennifer, you okay with doing that?
Sure.
Other than Amber.
Amber's not here.
So you're the
So
sub.
that's not fair, right? She can't defend
I'd be
herself.
the rep.
You the rep.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then-
the rep.
Right, but
It would make sense for me from recreation.
Looking in your general direction now.
Jen should do it.
Yes. I was only speaking when spoken to, so yes.
What's that mean?
So Dean and Jennifer, or you and Dean?
Me and Dean.
Jennifer's
Dean
off-
and I.
Jennifer's off the hook?
Or Jennifer. Like I said, we're all in the same.
Well, you're the
Well,
one,
this is just
you decide.
for the official, whoever ends up really
You're-
being
you're-
representative.
you're identifying the
It's up
slate,
to-
so-
Or vote.
Well, schedule and so forth too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Allison and Dean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right, so I guess you'll be official, and then, I mean, you guys probably go wherever's available, right?
and it's,
So
yeah,
in
that's what I was.
reality- But if no one's available, then Dean, you have to go.
So do we have
Okay, so put Dean down.
do we have to officially vote on the slate then?
Commissioner Riley gives somebody
yeah,
else
so
a
then
hard
you're voting
time.
on the slate. It's now being- As soon as it's being amended, you're gonna have to reaffirm your motion, reaffirm your second of the amended slate. and then we'll-
Okay.
I'd like to reaffirm my motion to nominate the slate of candidates as amended. Dot.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? Shelley, please call the roll.
Your opportunity.
I'm watching you.
Gray.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Boyles.
Aye.
Tillman.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. Congratulations to all of you.
And to you.
And to you.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 15-38-R.
Like the way you said that.
And
Look, read.
so this is a discussion item, to see if any of the park board members have any questions about the newly forming TIF district.
So for everyone's benefit, TIF district is tax increment financing, so essentially the TIF district or area takes the increment from where taxes are today to where they're projected to go, and it goes into the TIF, which allows them to use that money to develop the TIF. So for the park district, we're still allowed to garner our property tax revenue on these properties, but we do not get the increment until the TIF expires. Is that correct?
That is it.
Okay.
Well
That was beautifully said.
Thank you. Done this a couple times.
And we will not receive a refund of the portions of this particular TIF. And
So,
it
okay.
includes a total of 86 parcels that impact us.
Right. But, this is good. I mean, in the past, the Park District has, supported the city in its attempts to try to redevelop certain areas of the city, and using TIF financing does spur some development. Some have been more successful than others. And this is really just coming to us for discussion and purpose. We don't need to take any action on this tonight.
No.
Right? There's really not much we can
Just
do.
information only.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
But I do
we-
appreciate this map. I had not seen the full area before, so it's interesting.
The impetus for this, does this come from the city wanting to do this, or is this some of the property owners and developers that potentially want to do this?
Yep, this is driven from the city, and the city would really like to rehabilitate that particular area. It's the area where the Elms Restaurant is. There's a vintage shop, a couple of garage, body
Body
shop
shops up
type
and down First,
businesses back there,
Mhm.
and really along Main Street.
isn't this where we had the fire, the warehouse fire back there and stuff? So there's some old construction, just needs a little bit of work back there, but, okay. Anyone else? No.
Great.
Excellent. Next item on the agenda is the future of teen programming.
Yes. Even though while the teen center is no longer, the recreation team has been working diligently on new and innovative programming ideas for not just the teen population, but the tween population. And I'll let the Director of Community Recreation, who has a fresh vision for tween programming, and he will also, for the viewers at home, explain what population the tweens are, the millennials. So, Dean, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. We've determined that the older teens, or 15 to 18-year-olds, are just not going to be served by what was the teen center, and our population is kind of dropping. So we decided we're going to focus on the tweens. So depending on where you read, it's 11 to 14, 10 to 13. So basically your preteen to early teen, so 7th grader to basically freshman, maybe sophomore in high school. We currently have the teen nights where we get anywhere between 30 and 70 tweens that show up. And we have some very good regulars. Our goal is to get a core group together, and then that core group we will use as an advisory council, for lack of a better word, to help us program for their peers. And in the memo, we did this on the last 2 teen nights, and they gave us some pretty good feedback about what they would be looking for, and a couple of them were just what they're not looking for. The bottom one, or the first column was, trips. There really is no interest in trips. I don't know why, but teens, tweens are interested in trips. They're very interested in the second group of bullet points, the future programming ideas, and a lot of those are really cool. A couple of the ones I want to point out is they were talking about camping at Clark Island. Well, that would be really cool. So that's something we saw right away. We're like, ooh, I don't know if we can do that this year, but that would be awesome, and I think that's something we're going to go for. But the main goal right now is to try and get the 11 to 14-year-olds to come in, use our programs, use our services, get their buy-in, and have them tell us what they and their peers want. And then hopefully, the ultimate goal is that they stick with us when they're teens, and then our teen programming then will continue to grow. So we're going to try and get them young, get them interested, get them involved in Park District programming, and by doing that, we're going to give them what they want, and then hopefully they'll stick around, and then that whole teen population will continue to grow. We will be having some teen nights at the quarry, so we're going to start doing that again. We will still have the teen nights. It seems overwhelmingly there was a strong desire to have a basketball-driven open gym. So we're basically taking all of these that we see here and we're breaking them down. What can we do? How can we make it happen? And where can we make these happen over the next, I said, a year, so from here till 16. And just trying to get that group interested. It's going to be slow starting at first, but again, it's been my experience that kids are drawn to other kids doing things. So if we can get a group of kids involved, they're going to be our best PR. No offense to PR, but no offense to social media. But if the kids say it's cool, other kids will show up. So that's the direction we're going to go. Becca is very interested in this. We'll be able to utilize a lot of her. And Ryan has a good hold on the athletic tween and teen group. So I believe that we have the right dynamic to be able to increase those programs. And, hopefully this time next year I'll be telling you about all the wonderful programs that we had and that were successful and how we're going to do even more as they get older.
So we are in a rebuilding mode.
Sure. Well, I'm showing my tenure on the board, having been here when the first teen center was instituted, and quite frankly, your approach with more of a grassroots kind of pull rather than push is exactly how we had great success in the early years of the other teen center. So I'm very optimistic that you're going to have a repeat.
Thank you. That is our goal.
You're welcome.
And I think you're right on target with identifying some key leaders in that group, because it always seems like there's a certain small amount of kids that if they're doing it, everybody else wants to be part of it. And if you can identify and excite those few, you're going to have real success.
We are going to do everything we can to get that group of kids to drag the rest of them with.
All right. Thank you. Great update.
That's good.
So next item on the agenda is 15E, policy discussion. So before us is a first reading of the administrative manual. And unless anyone's had any preliminary comments, I guess we'll just allow this to be something you review and provide some feedback to Executive Director to make sure that we get some input prior to us taking action on it at our second reading.
Well, this is actually our 1.5 readings, right? I mean,
True.
this is the one where we
Well, it's the first
asked
reading
for
of the
some, it's the first reading of this revision.
Right,
Right.
right.
But, okay.
So we did include the current policy as it stands, but then the proposed policy, which really whittles it down to the suggestions from last month's park board meeting.
Right.
Okay.
So please take this under advisement and then hopefully can approve this at our next meeting.
Excellent.
So Fox Valley Special Rec,
Yes, we actually have a little report from them.
saw that.
It's pretty interesting here. You get to see what the revenues are for the barbecue pork chop dinner.
Looks so official. You should just get a number.
And then also they had a Foxy Rock Country concert as well. The Arcata had given them the gift of a free band, the country singer. I wish I could tell you the name, but A, I don't listen to country, and B, it had a twang to it and I would mispronounce it, so. But it was a free concert, so that was just sheer revenue for them, with the exception of some copying of flyers and things.
So, just out of curiosity, does this go to like scholarships or other things? Because the various districts obviously provide resources to do and implement the programs. Is this designed to be more of an augment for, special equipment and things like that? I never really understood or know exactly where this goes, but I'm very happy for them that they're able to turn over this kind of dollars in terms of,
Sure, this plugs back into specific programs that they've earmarked. There's a training wheels program that is significant within the special rec associations. And so a percentage of these proceeds go into that program to help fund it. So they've earmarked 5 to 6 different programs that will benefit as a result of these fundraisers.
Sure. Well, that's great. For our audience benefit, this is the better part of almost $18,000 of supplemental resources for our Special Rec Association, which eases the burden on both our participants as well as our member districts. So I think it's terrific.
A win-win.
Yes. Well, having removed the executive session, any other business to come before the board? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Foils. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.